blind. Mama blind. Yeah, like Felicia. When she's born, I'm very happy because at least I'm not alone. Because for 4 years, I'm live alone. I feel suddenly I have someone with me. Working for her, for my doctor, for my son in Indonesia. That's all. I just doing what I have to do.
Lita comes from Indonesia, but she has been living in the Netherlands for the last 6 years. Lita and her daughters do not have a residency permit in this country. Thousands of domestic workers like them live in the Netherlands undocumented. They are the cleaners, the nannies, the carers who look after your beloved ones, and they deserve the documents that this government does not want to give. I am Marion Grace. For 10 years, Amsterdam knew me only as a shadow moving through its streets, holding my breath, trying to be invisible as I was undocumented. Today, you are listening to my voice. This is the Invisible Community. Together with Lita and Dan, I will tell you about us, the essential workers that keep the society going. Produced by Here to Support, written and edited by Ricardo BG.
Ja, het is zo gelopen en het loopt, ik geloof wel goed, hè?
I don't know. What is that?
Dat het goes smoothly and...
Oh yeah, we more like family, He helped me and I helped him. A few years, yeah?
Ja.
Live alone, without family.
Ik heb 2 zusters, 1 zuster zie ik nog.
Yeah. But they never meet each other. For how long?
Years.
Lita works and lives at Peter's, an old, lonely Dutchman with a chronic illness. For 2 years, she has been taking care of him and of his house. Lita and her daughters live in the upper room, once occupied by Peter's own children. Today, he has become like a grandfather to them. Peter and Lita are essential for one another. Without family, he needs a reliable person to take care of him and of his house, and she needs a place to work and to feel safe. At any time, the police could arrest them and imprison them or deport them to Indonesia.
Sometimes he can speak Dutch, a beetje, and Tuedri, and sometimes he speak Indonesia, and sometimes Engels.
Ik verleed de Nederlandse kant.
Felicia doesn't have document yet, yeah?
No?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I hope she can school in here,
Think about that for a moment. A baby without papers. Even Felicia, born right here in the Netherlands, is undocumented.
In the beginning, I feel afraid, yeah? Afraid, especially when I see police in the street. I hope nothing happen. Yeah, so that's why, like red light, I do, in the traffic, I do my best. I'm not making mistake or something.
For 10 long years, I live just like Lita, undocumented in Amsterdam. Imagine, you get the chills when you see a police car standing by. What if you find yourself at the wrong place and time? How would I explain that I don't have residence permit? They would get suspicious immediately and maybe think that I committed a crime. It's like a double-edged sword, and you have to be very careful. You learn to read faces, to sense danger, to make yourself small. Your legs tremble whenever you take public transport. You feel scared when you hear sudden sounds around you. When I finally received my residence permit 2 years ago, I could finally speak freely. And believe me, there's a lot to say. Because the story of people like me, undocumented domestic workers, is a story this city needs to hear. When I first arrived here, I have my university degree from the Philippines, one of the best in my country. It became papier afwal. My experience as a teacher, my skills, nobody cared. Here, I learned to be treated as a pair of hands. Hands to scrub floors, to change nappies, to care for other people's loved ones. Essential work, yes. But we got no rights. We are not EU citizens, and applying for a work visa is extremely hard. Most of us come here on a short tourist visa, but when that expires, we are left with nothing. No contracts, no bank account, no insurance, no healthcare. Can you imagine for a second how your life would be without these things?
For people like us, yeah, undocumented, when we get bad clients because they know we don't have document, I have some clients that they not pay me for 2 months.
Without rights, many of us are at the mercy of our employers who could exploit us, report us, or even let us out in the street. Lita's previous employer were not as kind as Peter. When she had a problem, nobody could protect her.
That is a Christmas day. The grandma really want to see grandson. Always crying. She always crying every time. Yeah. Me also as a mother, I can feel that, right? And then I say, yeah, okay, when you want to meet today, because I have kadoches for him. But yeah, the father's very angry that time. He say, no, I don't like you. Why you give my mother to see my son? I don't like. As you know, my connection with my mother is not good. I said, that is your mother. If there's no mother, there's no you, no your son. There's a logic. You cannot do that with your mother. I don't like it. He's angry and he said, okay, give my key back and then I will not pay you.
Who would refuse an old woman to see her grandson on Christmas Day? Lita did not refuse, but for this, she became embroiled in a family dispute between her employer and his own mother. As a result, Lita was fired unjustly and she was never given the 600 euros that she deserved for her work. Until now, her employer has not given her the money.
I'm afraid, if I asking my money that time, I'm afraid that he angry and then call police or maybe something because we never know what he will doing later. Yeah, like something like that. In that case, if we meet the client like that, we cannot do anything. That's a problem, with the people undocumented. We are afraid to talk.
When a client doesn't pay for months, that's not just money they're taking, it's a piece of our children's future. For Lita, that 600 euros could have meant a whole semester of her son's university who studies aerospace engineering in Indonesia.
Before, I really want he become pilot. I say, I don't have money that much. So I said to my son, okay, maybe you can study the engine first, and then maybe after that, you can work, get some work, and then you collect money, and then you can continue for the pilot. Yeah, what I can do, I only doing my daily work. I'm working for her, for my doctor, for my son in Indonesia. That's all. Without think about my bad client who not pay me, without think about this man, without think about papi or whatever. No, I just doing what I have to do. Yeah, working like that.
Working, working, working. I met Lita a few years back when I was still undocumented. I instantly recognized myself in her. She was coming from work carrying her daughter Felicia. Lita was a computer scientist back in Indonesia. Here, she is fighting to survive for her and for her children, as I was. For many of us, those early days when you are undocumented, loneliness could be crushing and you search for connections. For Lita, a lifeline appeared in a small theater group, on stage sharing our stories, our pain, our laughter. With Dutch people listening to us, she did not feel so invisible and lonely anymore.
Before I work as computer engineering. Here I work as expert in vacuum cleaner. Wow.
It's fun.
Connecting with the undocumented community, Lita and I found spaces where we could finally breathe. I found people from my country, the Philippines. I could speak my language, share food, and share laughter, and that is where I met Dan.
This theater group is part actually of the campaign to spread the word, to show people the situation of migrant domestic workers and get their support. And Lita, she's one of the main characters in this group.
Dan, a refugee from the Philippines, is a powerful voice for the undocumented community in Amsterdam. He constantly finds ways to highlight our struggles, and the theater group itself became one of those ways. There we could share our difficult lives with laughter and lightness.
In that scene, Lita is riding a tram, and then the ticket checker asked for ticket. Lita said, "No, but I have no bank account. I cannot pay in cash to get the ticket. Can I pay you?" No, of course not. You can pay me. And then, well, they have documents. Can I see your documents? Lita puts out her passport. "Oh, your visa has expired 2 years ago." That means you are 2 years here living illegally.
Illegal. That is the word they use. It's a word that you use to burn branded onto your skin. One day, a switch flicked for me. I was tired of being called an illegal, and I realized I was not alone. We are a community. We are essential workers for this city, and we have a right to demand fair treatment, to demand dignity. So I joined the Federatie Nederlandse Vakbeweging, or FNV, a huge Dutch workers' union. There, we built up our own group, fighting for the rights of all undocumented migrant workers.
Two main demands. Institute a law that those who are working in domestic work will be considered as real workers, like workers in other sectors, so that they will enjoy the same standard labor rights that other workers in other sectors enjoy. Because if you work as a domestic, regulation states there is no employer-employee relationship between the domestic worker and the one who employs him or her. So, labor standards do not apply to them. Second, because most of the domestic workers are undocumented, regularization scheme, meaning to say, grant working permits to these people and permit to work so they can work legally.
We are called illegals, but before coming to the Netherlands, Lita, Dan, and I had a totally different life. We all carry many stories, many different lives packed into suitcases and stranded in a foreign land. Stories of what we were before, of the places we had in society, of the dreams we carried. What makes a mother leave her children behind? What pushes a teacher, a computer scientist, an activist to cross continents and risk everything to clean someone else's home, to live in the shadows, to become invisible?